Hi everyone, White Person here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Young Lean album, Stranger. This is the third full-length album from Swedish internet rapper and sad boy Jonathan Lindur Hasted. And say what you will about the dude, but he has had a handful of good singles drop over the years. He is stuck very passionately to a strong style and aesthetic in his music. He is certainly one of the more notable artists out there when it comes to the spacey and blissful genre of cloud rap, and he kind of helped pave the way for a lot of dudes doing their thing on the internet in the rap game today. However, this latest album cycle for this new record of his has been one of his most low-key yet, teasing listeners with basically a handful of singles and then a 7-minute short film. And I've actually enjoyed most of the tracks leading up to the release of this album, all of which have featured Lean's usual combination of spacey trap beats and deadpan vocals, but just with a little extra. The song Red Bottom Sky hit me and appealed to me right away, mostly because of its beautiful and very, kind of earnest vocal melody. It's like a wonderful lullaby, and vocally, this is one of Lean's more passionate performances to date. The song is as catchy as it is pretty. It embodies the feel-good intoxication that most good cloud rap songs do. The harmonious bridge builds up into a lavish and heavenly crescendo, and this is maybe the first time that I would ever refer to a Young Lean song as being elegant. Then there's the slightly more aggressive SKIMASK, which features these very memorable dong, dong, dong lead synth melodies, sputtering hi-hats, groaning bass, and also one of Lean's weirdest flows. Of course, it's slathered in auto-tune, it's got a bunch of weird vocal inflections in it. The beat is so friggin' nutty, so are the vocal effects, and I like how that pairs up with the very laid-back vocal delivery. The song Metallic Intuition I recently had a somewhat negative reaction to in a Best Worst Tracks video, and I still think it's one of the more skeletal and underwhelming songs on the entire project, but with more listens to this song, I kind of appreciate that Lean is doing something a little bit more eerie and spacious and dark on this cut, trying to get a bit more introspective. However, Lean's lyrics nor his flow is interesting enough to carry a song that instrumentally is this skeletal. By contrast, the song Fallen Demon does a bit more with so little. The song could have used like a hook or some more variation, but I do like Lean's consistent flow on this track, the kind of devilish vocal effects, the light distortion on the vocals too, the very warped bass and the dizzying woodwind synth leads in the instrumental. I feel like I've been transported into some kind of semi-satanic musical underworld. And there are a number of other equally minimal tracks in the track listing here that go over a bit better, but mostly because Young Lean comes through with a solid vocal melody, like on Drop It / Scooter. And I will say that his verses on this project are a bit more evocative than usual, addressing topics of individualism and isolation, loneliness, excess, aspiration, and ambitions. Young Lean's flows and his delivery, his lack of enthusiasm on his songs does tend to be his Achilles heel still. Some of the flows he delivers sort of trail off into, I don't know, singing or just like another rhythm pattern or something. Like he's not really giving the audience the artistic fortitude or stamina necessary to come through with a consistent verse, with a laser focus on a flow, much less a topic. There are some tracks on here that I think kind of work despite Lindur's sort of disheveled demeanor, like Silver Arrows, whose hook really sells the song, the somewhat peppy and very sugar-sweet Hunting My Own Skin, and sort of Iceman, a track that I think the more I listen to it is kind of underwritten. However, I do love the instrumental here. I do love the weeping guitars woven into this spacey, dark, moody trap beat. Even though I don't think there is as much substance to this record as I would like, or as much lyrical fortitude to this record as I would like, I do think this is Lean's most aesthetically pleasing album to date, with the exception of maybe the song Push, whose vocal mix is really whacked. Really kind of overshadows the beat, slathered in this terribly grating auto-tune. Despite the fact that I like how glitchy some points of the song are, it's not very pleasant to listen to. The song is a little repetitive too, but as Lean states in the song Agony, he can write hooks, but not so much songs. Which is absolutely true. I mean, I'm glad that's a critique that he gives to himself, that I can repeat and agree with. It is in fact true. The songwriting on this thing does leave a bit to be desired, more in the way of variation, detail, substance, lyricism, hell, I mean even energy level. All of these things could have been amplified, increased, despite the fact that I think the album starts off and ends stronger than I expected. It may be a while before Young Lean comes through with a truly solid and definitive project, but I will say Stranger is a step in that direction. All the things that I've critiqued him on before in the past, I feel like have improved noticeably. The songs, while not perfect, some end very abruptly, some trail off, some are kind of one-dimensional, but this is still Lean's strongest crop of tracks yet, and if I'm being honest, musically, instrumentally, vocally, some of these tracks are kind of experimental. Like, there's certainly more going on here vocally and lyrically and texturally than there has been on Lean's more vapid singles that have been released in the past. Much of the appeal of this record for me might come down to the melodies and production, which are very sound-rich, very beautiful, very unsettling at times. Young Lean has usually been more about aesthetic than anything, so I wasn't surprised about that going into this project. I kind of expected that. But seeing that aesthetic and that style improve and mature by leaps and bounds, and then also hearing these slight lyrical improvements here and there, these slight vocal improvements here and there, it has kind of made a world of difference. I mean, it's actually Lean's most likable project yet, I would say. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this thing. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Just leave an angry comment in the comments if you're angry, or leave a thoughtful comment down in the comments if you're feeling thoughtful. Young Lean, Stranger, Forever. Over here next to my head is another Young Lean review that you can check out or click on the link to subscribe to the channel. Forever for real, this time forever.